Ah.
There's a lot of different examples, but I'm going to use an entertainer, a singer, as an example. So here you have a singer, and in their vortex is to become successful and prosperous and well-known, etc. That's not me. I'm not a singer. It's just an example.
We're going to broaden that a little bit. Say it again. In their vortex.
In their vortex is success as a singer, performer, and this could be actor, writer, whatever.
And to feel good, and to be whole with themselves.
Okay. Well, this is not specifically.
We understand. We're just saying that there's a lot more in everyone's vortex than you are ready to articulate. And the more you understand about what's in there, the more you will understand that there are no emotional paradoxes.
Okay. So this singer and songwriter starts, the songs that he or she writes are very either sad, depressing, angry, reactive, and they keep writing that, and they keep getting up on stage every night, going on tours, embodying those feelings, and then they become more and more successful, more and more famous, more and more rich, off of songs that are strictly based in negativity, step one moments.
That's why we're so wise in the beginning to tell you it's about joy.
Yes, I know. Caught that.
So let's think about what's happening. Let's talk about, and this does go back to what we were talking about with our friend earlier, what this speaks to loudest right here at first is that so much of the world is humaning and focused upon each other and has a vibration of feeling forsaken and forgotten and not considered, that when someone writes that and performs it with some talent, a whole lot of people can resonate with that. It's what we meant earlier when we were talking about the emotional scale, with despair on one end and feeling wonderful on the other, and in the center of it is satisfaction, and so many people feeling so many of those things that you said it perfectly, vibrational match. And so where does that bring you?
But is that singer, is that performer, and again, writer, actor, whatever, that has a whole career known for kind of dark, depressing, sad, etc., are they creating their success from inside the vortex or not inside the vortex? If they're always embodying on stage those feelings of sadness when they sing, you've got to get into those emotions, sad, depressing, angry, fearful, but they're manifesting huge success. So are they in the vortex or are they not?
You've got to define success. A lot of them hang themselves, so you tell us.
That was another part of this question. Not just hang themselves, they could take pills or, there's other things.
Let's sort through this.
You just answered another question.
Let's sort through this.
That's where I thought this was going to go.
So, an actor or entertainer can have in their vortex, they can have watched things since they were young, and they can have in their vortex a desire for that kind of career, and a desire to be able to display any kind of emotion, a desire to be believed as an actor. And so they could be living a perfectly balanced life while they, in their balanced life, are an actor who presents. In other words, the performers, there is that thing that in the entertainment world is called typecasting, where someone just seems like that, and so that's the movie they always do, and maybe it's because that's who they really are. But the majority of those performers, especially actors, that's what their skill is, taking on characteristics that really is not them, and for a period of time presenting them. So if your question is doing that affecting your vibration? The answer is, to some degree, always. But it goes back to what we were saying to our friend earlier. It depends upon how much under the influence of your inner being you really are. How much stability do you have? You could be a really joyful person and go put on your makeup that makes you not look joyful and don that characterization that doesn't appear and have a successful career at it. No one from the outside can know what anybody else's relationship with their own inner being is. But in your humaning, you keep trying to do that. That's why you keep missing the mark on how anybody really feels about anything. Did you hear that? As you come to a forum like this, and here Esther is standing, and you're observing the physical body of Esther, and you're hearing Esther's phraseology and Esther's words, Esther's voice, and you could very well come to the conclusion, well, there's a woman who believes what she's saying and presents it in a pretty convincing way, and it's just another opinion, as there are billions of opinions on this planet. This is just another opinion offerer, and I can take it or leave it, and we feel that way about you feeling that way. That's just fine. But if you were to listen for a little while and find some softening of resistance as a result of what you're hearing here, and tune in a little more to your own inner being and your own guidance system, even without knowing you're doing that, and therefore feel some resonance with who you really are and what you really know, you might be inspired when we tell you that you have a vortex that exists, that there's a vibrational reality, and that it's a very high frequency because it has no resistance, and that if you could meditate and really quiet your mind, that your own vibration would rise, and when your vibration rises, it meets the equivalency of the vibration of your vortex, and then who you are in your vortex can come into your mind. Ideas come, and feelings come, and urges come, and impulses come, that as you follow them, you find success. You find the things that you want, accompanied by that joyful feeling that you're in the right place at the right time. It isn't the words that you are hearing here that we are counting on uplifting you. It's you feeling some resonance with something that causes you to recognize that there is another part of you, and a willingness to apply a process here and there, and having the actual personal experience of your vibration rising, and then feeling the clarity of what it feels like when you channel what your inner being knows about the moment in time or the subject that you're thinking about, and you follow through with the process. That's when you come to know. That's when you come to know. Meanwhile, it's just a whole bunch of people reading a whole bunch of books about a whole bunch of experiences and taking a little bit here and a little bit there, but not having any true basis of stability that you can always take to the bank. Was that helpful? Yeah. When you figure out how to get yourself tuned in, then you always know what to do. And while things keep coming up, because you're new every day, you're attracting new experiences, because expansion is the inevitable quality of all that is. Expansion must be. You have an option. It can be joyful or not joyful, but expansion is for sure happening.
Thank you very much. I have one more question.
Yeah.
In terms of creating, knowing what you don't want, totally different topic, knowing what you don't want, knowing what you do want, how specific do you have to be as far as knowing? Because a lot of times, for example, so I work in real estate right now, and years ago my strong desire was to have a time-money balance, which so many people want. I have that now because I'm here. Something else calling me now. I know the elements of it. I know the essence of what I want in the same way. Do I have to know exactly what it is?
Well, here's the thing. So you're really going to like this. All that time that you were creating real estate and didn't know it, and something beyond it and don't know it, and something beyond that and don't know it, and something beyond that and don't know it. All the time that you were living life and experiencing contrast, you were giving birth to all of those things. The specifics of your creation, drum roll please, the specific, oh, your cooperative components, the specifics of your creating all happen in step one. Step one is contrast helps you to decide what you want. Step two is source provides it. Step three is you become a vibrational match to what's been vibrationally provided, and then it comes from the vortex into your experience through the impulses and hunches and actions that you offered. Did you follow all of that? Now that you've got that basis of understanding, you are so specific in step one. Step three can be really general, because you've already asked for everything that you want, and your inner being has already lined it all up, and all the cooperative components have already been gathered. And you know what's usually keeping you from rendezvousing with the cooperative components that have been gathered?
What is?
You're too specific. You're back in step one. Thanks for playing along. You're too specific. You're back in step one. And what the vibration is made up of, the vibrational components of a question are different than the answer. The vibrational components of a problem are different than the solution. Once you've lived the problem, you've created the solution. But if you keep being specific about poking around on the problem more, then you disallow your impulses and inspiration about the solution.
So I can just be specific enough to know I want a time-money balance. I don't have to know anything else.
You ask a question. We've got more for you here. You ask the question, how specific do I need to be? Well, we want to say, once you've stepped out of step 1 into step 3, you don't have to be specific at all. You just have to be living happily ever after. You could have your feet dangling in a tub of hot water and everything you want would come joyfully to you. In other words, if you're not doing something that's in the way, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Rest with that for a moment. You did step 1, source did step 2. It's done. You just got to make sure that you don't keep creeping back over into step 1, which is a different vibration than step 3. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. However, if you're in step 3 satisfied and you think more specifically, it's way fun. It is so fun to get specific when there's no resistance. It's not what should I do, it's what feels good to do. When you have a project going, Esther's got one going right now, and any moment that she's not doing something else, she's thinking about that because it's so fun. It's so fun to think about. It's so fun. She's not doing it because she's trying to goose anything up. It's a done deal. It's for sure. She's just thinking about it because it feels so good to think about it. But in the moment that it doesn't feel good, she stepped back over into step 1, which is just fine, because when you're in step 1, you're putting more in the vortex. So the rule of thumb is think about it as much as you can, as long as you feel good. That's the way that we would look at it. Do you now understand something that you might not have understood before? And that is, it's not the hard work and the struggle that's making it happen. That's what's slowing it down. It's the trust and the belief. It's the understanding that it exists. It's the expectation that it's going to show itself to you. It's the thrill. It's the thrill of being in that place where you're consciously enjoying, observing, you're turning thoughts to things. You're enjoying the process of, oh, an idea came to me. Oh, I got this wonderful idea and I followed through with it, and then this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened. When you hang around in step 3, life is going to throw you into step 1 on a pretty regular basis. That's just fine, because you're always going to be expanding. But in specific answer to this specific question, if you're trying to figure out how much thought to give to something, just get in step 3 and chill out and let the universe do the heavy lifting. It's like your inner being got out there.